Hey everybody. My heart is a little heavy because I saw an article on AOL News that I want to read to you. And it's pretty horrific. It's right on AOL News. Today is July the 22nd. The name of the article is Shocking Indifference to Roma Drowning. And Roma are definite are gypsies. Roma are gypsies in Italy. The story is out of Torre Gavetta, Italy, and the story is dated July the 21st. Italian newspapers and Archbishop and civil liberties campaigners expressed shock and revulsion on Monday after photographs were published of sunbathers apparently enjoying a day at the beach just meters from where the bodies of two drowned Roma girls were laid out on the sand. Italian news agency ANSA reported that the incident had occurred on Saturday at the beach of Torre Gavetta, west of Naples, southern Italy, where the two girls had earlier been swimming in the sea with two other Roma girls. Reports said they had gone to the beach to beg and sell trinkets. Seems pretty reasonable. I mean, they do a lot of begging in the States. So, it's not something we're unfamiliar with. People selling things on the street. Sometimes they get on the bus and sell things because around public transportation. Okay, the story continues on. There's a little caption of the girls, the bodies of the two girls laid out on the sand, and it says Italians are expressing outrage over published photos that show beachgoers near Naples going about their day as the bodies of two Roma girls lay on the shore. The girls had drowned earlier in the day, but the tragedy draws attention to what one group calls Italy's atmosphere of racism towards gypsies. So basically, 2 girls out of 4 girls had drowned, and their bodies were laying on the beach, and the Italians were walking around and sunbathing and talking on their cell phones and stuff like nothing happened. Okay, so I'm going to read the rest of the story. Local news reports said the 4 girls found themselves in trouble amid fierce waves and strong currents. Emergency services responded 10 minutes after a distress call was made from the beach, and two lifeguards attended to the girls upon hearing their screams. 2 of them were pulled to safety, but rescuers failed to reach the other 2 in time to save them. The website of the Archbishop of Naples said the girls were cousins named Violetta and Cristina, aged 12 and 13. Those are some pretty names. Their bodies were eventually laid out on the sand under beach towels to await collection by police. Photographs show sunbathers in bikinis and swimming trunks sitting close to where the girls' feet can be seen poking out from under the towels, concealing their bodies. A photographer who took photos at the scene told CNN the mood among sunbathers had been one of indifference. Wow. Other photos show police officers lifting the bodies into coffins and carrying them away past bathers reclined on sun lounges. So you can just picture this. They got the bodies of these 2 dead girls, and they gotta negotiate their way between sunbathers or past sunbathers, and they're just the whole time they're just laying there, just chilling. That is sick. While the lifeless bodies of the girls were still on the sand, there were those who carried on sunbathing or having lunch just a few meters away. Italian newspaper La Repubblica reported. I think I would have lost my appetite. Corriere, Italian words. Corriere della Sera said that a crowd of curious onlookers that had formed around the bodies quickly dispersed. So they took a look, walked away. Few left the beach or abandoned their sunbathing. When the police from the mortuary arrived an hour later with coffins, the 2 girls were carried away between bathers stretched out in the sun. Can you imagine this? They got to negotiate their way between bathers stretched out in the sun. This is just sick. The incident also attracted condemnation from the Archbishop of Naples, Cardinal Crescencio Sepe. Indifference is not an emotion for human beings, Sepe wrote in his parish blog. To turn the other way or to mind your own business can sometimes be more devastating than the events that occur. And I got to tell you, I agree with him. The fact that these girls drowned was horrific enough. But the reaction, that's even more horrific. The reaction of those Italians is even worse. Recent weeks have seen heightened tensions between Italian authorities and the country's Roma minority amid a crackdown by Silvio Berlusconi's government targeting illegal immigrants, and talk by government officials of a Roma emergency that has seen the 150,000 strong migrant group blamed for rising street crime. Kind of sounds like they got the attitude towards Roma that Americans have towards Mexicans. That a lot of Americans have towards Mexicans. That has provided justification for police raids on Roma camps and controversial government plans to fingerprint all Roma. We haven't got there with the Mexicans, and I hope we don't. An act condemned by European Parliament and United Nations officials as a clear act of racial discrimination. It is. Popular resentment among Romanis has also seen Roma camps near Naples attacked and set on fire with petrol bombs by local residents. In a statement published on its website, the Italian civil liberties group Everyone said Saturday's drowning had occurred in an atmosphere of racism and horror, and cast doubt on the reported versions of events, suggesting that it appeared unusual for the four girls to wade into the sea, apparently casting modesty aside, and despite being unable to swim. You know what? If these girls were attacked and drowned, it would explain the indifference of the crowd and them not caring very much. I wouldn't be very surprised if those girls were murdered. The most shocking aspect of all this is the attitudes of the people on the beach, the statement said. No one appears the slightest upset at the sight and presence of the children's dead bodies on the beach. They carry on swimming, sunbathing, sipping soft drinks, and chatting. Oh man, I gotta tell you, this is one of the sickest stories I have seen on the internet. News story I've seen, period. And I'm going to put the link to this story in this, in the description area for this video, so you can make it to the video. But this had a 90% approval reading, definitely. From the readers in terms of being a good read. Definitely, this is very interesting, very horrific, and I think this was a very well written article. But I'm telling you, I responded, and I got to tell you, I couldn't help it. I said, Italians are some sick people. Not all of them, but apparently most or many. God help them. That's the report, and I don't mean to diss Italians, but I just cannot imagine any beach in America where people would be sitting there sunbathing while dead bodies are on the beach. I don't care if the beach was full of white people or black people or whatever. I don't care what people were on the beach. I cannot imagine there's so much racial or cultural or ethnic animosity in America that the dead bodies of any group would be treated like that. Not even Mexicans. I cannot even see Americans behaving that way towards a Mexican. And there is a lot of anti-Mexican sentiment in America because of the illegal immigration. But this is just truly sick. And I pray for the families of those girls. I pray that the root of hatred does not take root in their hearts, because behind something like this, how could the Romani population not feel hatred towards Italians or towards the Italian people? I mean, how could they not feel it? So I pray for the families, that God will comfort them in their time of grief. I pray that the Romani population will not be hateful of the Italian people, and I pray that the Italian people's hearts will be softened by this, and that they will change their attitudes towards the Romanis or gypsies in Italy. So God bless y'all and keep y'all. Take care. Bye bye.